Ha, sicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink Gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right, if the head right, Biggie there, every night. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us. Who us? Yeah, Papa and Pump. Close like Starsky and Hutch, stick to clutch. Yeah, I squeeze 3 at your cherry M3. Bang every MC easily.
Take that.
Recently, niggas frontin' ain't saying nothing, so I just speak my peace, keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace, with my peace. Packing, asking who want it. You got it, nigga, flaunt it. That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
I put hoes in NY onto DKNY. Miami, DC, prefer Versace.
That's right.
All Philly hoes know it's Moschino. Every cutie with the booty, boy, the coochie. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the shit? Them niggas ride dicks. Frank White pushed the 6 on the Lexus LX 4.5. Bulletproof glass tips if I want some ass. Gon' blast, squeeze first, ask questions last. That's how most of these so-called gangsters pass. At last, a nigga rapping about blunts and broads, tits and bras, menage a trois, sex and expensive cars, and still leave you on the pavement. Condo paid for, no car payment. At my arraignment, no for the plaintiff. Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty. That's how I stay filthy. Richer than richer, so you niggas come and get me. Come on.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
VJ, can't you see? Somehow your radio shows hypnotize me. And I just love your sporty ways. Guess that's why they're broken. I'm still broke too. VJ's a sports icon. Live right now at Spreaker.com. Coming to you guys at a little later hour than we normally would, but I have some other obligations I had to take to today. But as always, I promise you guys, Monday through Thursday, I will be on the air live on Spreaker.com and podcasted later on iHeartRadio for your sports talk listening pleasure. I'm your host, VJ Wright. That's because I always think I am. Hashtag 8515. Hashtag the Big Vanilla Thunder. The Big Vanilla Shack. The Big Vanilla Wafer. And I'm not talking about the little wafers. That was the little crackers you got in preschool for snack. I didn't like those. The little, they almost taste like you was eating paper, crispy paper with air with like a really nasty cream in the middle of them. No, not those wafers. I'm talking about the vanilla wafers that you put in banana pudding. Because everybody that eat banana pudding know the best part of the banana pudding is the wafer part. You always got to make sure you get you a few pieces of them little crispy, crunchy wafers that's sticking up out the banana pudding. Because the oven bakes them a little longer than the cookie that's inside the pudding and the banana mix and the whipped cream. If you put whipped cream on it, I don't really like whipped cream on my banana pudding, but I know how some people do. So it's that vanilla wafer. Got a great show for you guys lined up tonight. We're not going to go too long, about an hour, not unless I get some calls pouring in. I want to focus on Ryan Lochte. We're going to talk about Darren Sharpton. We're going to talk about Conor McGregor. Is it me, or was this honestly just a really shameful last 24 to 48 hours in American sports? With all the glory of the Olympics, with all the glory of preseason football and training camp, baseball's getting revved up towards the clutch run in September. That's going to decide who wins each division, who gets the wild card, who gets to go play in the wild card round, who gets to play in the ALCS, and who's going to have home field advantage. We got college football right now. All 131 Division I schools are currently in practice right now, getting ready for kickoff, which is going to be, I believe, on the 20th or 29th, and that goes into Labor Day weekend. Big games heading into that weekend. USC, Alabama. It's going to be at Texas Stadium, which is going to be a barn burner. And then, that barn burn up in Ann Arbor, Hawaii versus Michigan. Hey, you never know what the rainbows are going to bring. That was actually being sarcastic. But is it me, or has this just been a real shameful last 24 to 48 hours of American sports? We got American swimmer Ryan Lochte. Actually, you guys know the story by now. Ryan Lochte said that he was robbed. Him and some teammates were robbed down in Rio de Janeiro, the Olympics, by men posed as police officers who put a gun to his head and demanded his money. At first, he said they pulled the gun out and asked for the money. He was like, "No, I'm not doing. I'm not giving you my money or whatever." Tough bravado statement he wanted to use to get out of giving up his money to some armed robbers, and then said the guy took the gun and pressed it against his forehead, demanded his money in his wallet, and then he got everything from the robbers, that is, got everything from Lochte and his teammates, and they were robbed. Lochte gets on a flight, flies to USA, flies home, and his teammates are still there kind of hanging around. And they actually try to fly out too, but get pulled off of a flight. And it makes everybody look bad in the entire situation of what's going on, because you have Rio de Janeiro, which is the capital of Brazil. It is a very high crime-ridden area, a lot of corruption, a lot of drugs, a lot of killing, a lot of, I would say, rapes. There's a lot of rape cases and rape incidents that happen down there. Just a really, really bad they're under the basic economy that they got, that you would have going on right now, and most power countries. I would think Brazil would be considered a power country. I mean, I know America, I know we got some poverty here too, but nothing in any part of America is like the villas and the slums and the hoods and the ghettos of Rio. So you have that chemistry mixed there with the corrupt police force, and then I'm pretty sure there's cops like everywhere else that try to do the right thing, but the government's corrupt, the police corrupt. You have the drug cartel there, you have the child sex trafficking cartel there, you have the prostitution. I mean, it's not one of the best areas to hold an event like the Olympics. And then you have the good old red, white, and blue, the good old stripes and stars come down there, and we bought, 300, 400 some athletes, the most of all time, I believe, or the most in the last 30, 40 years of athletes that we've been able to, that have qualified for the Olympics to take down there. And if you ever get out of America and leave the country, you'll find out that a lot of countries do not like us. A lot of people do not like Americans. Once they start talking to you and they hear where you're from, they want to come here and they want to live the dream and get out of the situation they're in. But a lot of times they probably think that we underestimate or we underappreciate the situations and the privileges that we do have, or that some of us have here in the United States of America, the good old US of A. And then you have IOC Federation, which is the International Olympic Committee, who oversees everything Olympic, where the Olympics are going to be held, where they're going to try to put the players and the athletes and the venues, the money, the sponsorship, everything goes through the IOC. And IOC is either the most corrupted organization on the planet, along with FIFA administration. The FIFA administration, they are definitely corrupted. They've had to suspend, fire, arrest, suspend, fire, arrest, suspend, fire, arrest their delegates and their top officials all the time. And the same thing with the IOC. So you mix all this in, that an American athlete apparently or supposedly was robbed at gunpoint with his teammates in Rio de Janeiro. So, of course, as the citizen of this country that I am, I get on the radio show and I'm trying to figure out, I'm mad actually at America. Like, how is it that our athletes are being robbed at gunpoint by men posed as police officers in another country when they're there representing the USA in an athletic team? We're not there for politics. We're not there to hand out the winning check of the local lottery. We're not there to flash money and flash our riches of America, material things in their faces. We are there, like everybody else that's there, is to compete against the world's best. I was on the side of, we need to protect our athletes better. I don't care if they don't want to go. There's some people that say, well, what if they don't want security? What if they just left? It does not matter in my book. When you walk out of that hotel, or you walk out of your room, or you enter that lobby, there needs to be armed, nationally appointed, from America, appointed security like Secret Service there to protect all of our athletes, especially when you know that they are high targets. A lot of them make money. Those gold medals could probably feed a family for a month in one of those under poverty-stricken areas, underprivileged areas in Rio, up in those hills and villas where you don't even dare go. If you're not from down there, you're not with somebody that's from there, and shoot, it depends upon who you come across and what part of the village you in. You being with somebody might not work. That might not get you what you think it should get you as far as safety is concerned. So you mix in all these things, and then to come to find out that Ryan Lochte is lying about all of this, that him and his teammates actually did something that had to be called to attention by a gas station owner, and then the police, later on the police. And to involve that lie in the Brazilian police is what's really blown this thing up. I believe that if Ryan Lochte had just come out and said, listen, man, we got roughed up or robbed by some guys, or not said anything at all, I'm starting to think, did he have to say anything? Maybe he thought he was covering himself because of something that might have previously happened there. But my thing is, why do you make that story up? So anyway, it comes out that Ryan Lochte was lying today. He was not robbed at gunpoint. He was not robbed by men dressed up as police officers. What had happened is that him and his teammates had done something that they had no business doing and got themselves in a little trouble, tried to buy themselves out of trouble, and then had to try to make up a cover story. One thing about sports that I've always said is that you can never, ever, ever get away from what you did if you lie about it in sports. Michael Vick went to jail for the lie. Plaxico Burress went to jail for the lie. Marion Jones went to jail for the lie. Andy Pettit, guess what? He didn't lie. He told the truth. He held a press conference. He said he was sorry. He said he was trying to recover from injury. He didn't blame it on a cousin of his that he wouldn't name in Puerto Rico. And it was like amateur hour. We didn't even really know what we were doing. We just were, experimenting with stuff and got caught up, i.e. Alex Rodriguez. Yeah, you and your cousin were, you are a $250 million athlete that plays Major League Baseball, and you are going to pull amateur hour with your body on PEDs and HGH and other steroids? Like, come on. Who believes that? You'd be better off just telling the truth. The lie will always get you in trouble. Look at Ricky Williams. He didn't lie about smoking weed. He didn't lie about getting caught. He got caught once, got caught twice, got caught a third time, was looking at a suspension, and decided to diss my Dolphins the night before training camp started after coming off a 10-6 year, and the year that a lot of people have Miami at least being 12-4 with a 2-game improvement where Ricky Williams is the running back. Chris Chambers was our stud receiver. We had brought over Chris Carter at that time. Chris Carter was an aging veteran, but was still very, very good. We had some really young players on defense that were all pro players. Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Patrick Surtain, Brock Marion, Sam Madison. I mean, our team was pretty low. Junior Seau even came over for a season or two, man, and damn near almost made the Pro Bowl playing linebacker for us. So there's been people who have gotten in trouble, but it's always the lie. It's always the cover up what you get caught for. And why now? I think Brazil, their police force, should issue a warrant for his arrest, or a warrant to want to talk to him at least and have him return back to Brazil. Because what he did is he fed off of what everybody already thought was going to happen in Brazil. He fed off of what is already damaged with Brazil and Rio is their image. And see, a lot of that comes along with privilege, in my opinion, with the privilege of the American athlete. We'll get to that a little later because I want to break this down in pieces, and I want to talk about the privilege that our athletes are afforded. And it's not a good thing when they use it to their advantage to discredit other people or other organizations or other countries or cities. Whether it's here in America or it's overseas, it is not cool to do. And you only make yourself look like a butthole at the end of the day about it. So to lie about it and then to involve the police force. Now in America, we already have police force issues. We probably have one of the top 2 or 3 police force issues in the world. Because we're not the only country, guys. We're not the only countries where people are shot and killed and murdered and police are corrupt. I'm not trying to pick on different countries, but go down to South America. Go deal with some of those police forces who are being paid off by the drug cartel. If the drug cartel guy's making $600 million, you don't think he got $1 million to give the officer that patrols that area or the police department who patrols his city to keep them out of his business and let his drugs come in and go out freely? And as long as they protect them, they will be paid handsomely when they probably make chicken scratch down there for change. They're probably making the pieces of cabbage. Not even whole pieces of cabbage. You know when somebody dice cabbage up too fine and make it too small and then cook it, you try to serve and eat it, you got to pretty much eat it with a spoon instead of a fork. Cabbage should be eaten with a fork. They dice it up so much, the money they making, the cabbage they making is diced up so small, they got to eat cabbage with a spoon. So they already have a damage issue there. The police force does. And Ryan Lochte fed off of that. He fed off of the simple fact that he knew he could say that the police force was involved or was people close this police force, and it would be people would buy it. People would go for it. Not only did people go for it, you got people even like myself who is speaking out against the American government for the way they're protecting our athletes. And you know the American government is sitting there looking at them now like, seriously, did you lie like that? Like, we don't protect our athlete? And maybe they don't, because in my opinion, where's the security detail at anyway? So I won't even go that deep in America being able to say, you know, are you kidding me, Ryan? I'm not going to go there. Because obviously they didn't have security with them. And I still have to stay consistent and stay on the side that they should have had security with them. We are sending our best athletes to one of the worst parts of the world. Along with a bunch of other athletes, tens and thousands of athletes and coaches and trainers and Olympic workers and staff members and IOC members. I mean, there's literally tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people there that's just with the Olympics. Not to mention all the fans, not to mention all the spectators, not to mention all the family members that fly and spend their money and come down there, pay for hotel. But now you are trying to bring your privilege into an international issue. And it's an international issue because now, if I was Brazil, I'd be pissed at America even more than I already was. This is what you teach your athletes. This is the privilege you give your athletes. You give your Caucasian athletes this advantage to where they can actually make up stories. Now, you know if they do it overseas, you know they're going to do it here in America. Hence why we don't believe a lot of the stories we see, especially when it involves police or robbery, things of that nature. I had a gentleman today, I kid you not, come into my place of business earlier today. Facebook is a guy I see all the time. He comes and he visits my store. He patronizes my store a lot. He comes in, his face is scratched, bruised. I mean, he looks like he got his butt whipped really good. And I stopped in the middle of my sentence with another customer to say, excuse me, to the customer. I look at him, I say, yo, bro, what the hell happened to you? Are you okay? Yeah, man, I got jumped, man. What? You got jumped? And this dude's like in his 40s. And I'm like, you got jumped? Now, you know me, I'm nosy. I got to get the story. You're in your 40s. How the hell you get jumped? So he ends up telling me this story about these 4 guys who jump on him in broad daylight on Reseda Boulevard and Ventura Boulevard, which are 2 very busy. It's a very busy intersection in broad daylight. I think he said it happened Sunday afternoon. In broad daylight, when people are walking around, there's restaurants, there's boutiques, there's shops, there's sports bars, there's massage parlors, there's nail shops, there's retail stores. Then that area is just popping. There's people driving and walking by all the time. So I get more and more into the story because the story doesn't sound right. See, Lochte didn't got me questioning everybody. Lochte got me questioning just about every damn thing an athlete says happened to him now. So I start digging a little more into it. I'm like, so what was it? Was it just like a gang initiation? That sounds like a gang initiation, man. They didn't shoot you. They didn't try to stab you. He goes, no, just 4 guys, man. Next thing you know, I'm in my trunk and I turn around and I get socked, man. And 2 other guys run from around the other part of the car because I saw them pull around where I was. But I didn't think nothing of it. I just think, it's 4 guys in the car, and this and that. And I'm like, okay. So I'm digging more into it. I said, well, man, that sounds like a gang initiation or something. Just go beat up. He said it was 4 black guys. I'm like, it sounds like a gang initiation. Go beat up a Mexican. Those are the type of things that happen in certain places in this country, including certain areas of Los Angeles, and vice versa. Go beat up a black person. I mean, there are some ruthless gangs out there. There's people that say go, violate a woman. And the worst way possibly can. I hate using the R word, but you guys understand what I'm saying. But as I dig more and more into it, I'm asking more and more questions. Like, okay, so just random? He goes, nah, it wasn't a gang initiation. It wasn't nothing like that. And I'm like, all right, so what they take? He said they took my money and they smashed my phone. I'm like, smash your phone and took your money. Smash your phone so you couldn't call anybody. Took your money, but not your wallet, not your ID. Didn't carjack you. Didn't take your chain, your ring, your watch. This guy wears gold. And then I start thinking to myself, okay, was it somebody that knew you? I wanted to say, that's somebody that knew you. But then I said, I don't want to insult the guy. So I asked him. Instead of saying it, I said, maybe it was somebody that knew you. Was it somebody that knew you? And he goes, yeah, one of the fools I know, man. He knew I was going to have $7,000 on me. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. There it is. Inside job, man. Somebody that knew you and knew that you had $7,000 on you, that followed you from the ATM or followed you from the bank or followed you from the trap house. Because of course in my head I'm also like, okay, why you got $7,000 on you, bro? Like I think the most I've ever carried on me in my life before. I've ever carried on me in my life is probably about $2,400 cash. That's the most I've ever had on me, I believe, at one time. Maybe $25,000, about $2,500 possibly. But $7,000 I would never carry on me. I would never carry $7,000 on me. There's just no way even if somebody doesn't know you have it on, you run the risk of losing it. You run the risk of going shopping crazy and spending before you know it, spending way too much money and thinking to myself, how the hell did I got $4,800? I had $7,000 when I left the house today. How did I got $4,800? Yeah, you can look and go, well, it's still $4,800. Yeah, but if I spent almost half of my $7,000 in one day, imagine what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to be down to $1,200 tomorrow. $7,000 on Tuesday, down to $1,200 by Thursday morning. That's not good. That sounds like cocaine and hookers. That don't sound like shopping at the mall. Not at the local mall. Was you in Beverly Hills or something? Yeah, but not at Westfield. Not at the Canoga Park Mall. Not at Topanga Canyon. There's no way you're spending that much. But what the hell did you buy? Did you go in and just go to one side of the wall in Foot Locker and say, I'll take one of all in size 12? That's the only way I can see that. But the point I'm making about Brazil and Lochte and this whole story and the USA security team is it's always going to be an inside job, and that lie was an inside job. And now his friends are all backing out, all his teammates are all backing out now, and they're like, yo, this didn't happen. Because you know what happens, they pull you in a room, they sit you at the desk, they turn one light down, they turn all the lights down and turn one light on, and next thing you know, you in there and in them hot lights, man, they offering you a cigarette or a cup of coffee or a soda, can I get you some water? And those guys are sitting there thinking, the last thing I want is to be in a Brazilian jail. A Rio de Janeiro jail. Are you kidding me? I'm from Wisconsin. I'm from Clinton, North Carolina. I'm from Dale City, Virginia. I'm from Palmdale, California. The last place I'm trying to be, and when I was down here just basically competing against the world, is to end up in a Rio jail cell where everybody will know that I was with a guy who fabricated a lie and implicated the Rio Police Department, the people of Brazil who did this to him. So they start singing like Luther Vandross when he was Big Luther, not like Cedric said, not Lil Luther. I don't know about Lil Luther. Lil Luther was a little... Big Luther was... That's the Big Luther. The Big Luther was... That's the Luther I'm talking about right there. But now his boys are singing. His boys are telling on him. And rightfully so. This is dead wrong. But now I want to speak to the part of privilege that this speaks on. This speaks on the privilege. We should check how we treat our athletes and the way we garner their attention and the way we hold them up on pedestals. And it's really never in a fair rating. I mean, I like Michael Phelps as much as anybody else. I watched every damn swimming meet that he had in the Olympics this year, in London, in Beijing. Once he was really known to the world, I watched every swimming. I watched his quarterfinal heat, his semifinal heat, whatever they show. I make sure I get me some Michael Phelps in. But Michael Phelps has 2 DUIs. I'm not a big component person of drinking and driving. He was caught with his face in a bong at a college party. Hey, I don't think the way about marijuana like a lot of people in America think. It's legalized in 14, 15 states. So there's somebody out there or a large group of people, a large contingency that don't think it's as bad as everybody else thinks it is. But at the same time, he still is praised. He still is held to this high standard. He still is celebrated through the media, celebrated through sponsorships. So the privilege isn't fair. It doesn't equal around, because I want to flip it on you and ask you a question like this. The IOC, of course, is trying to defend it by boys being boys. Oh, it's just boys being boys. Okay, that's fine. But let me ask you this. If that was Draymond Green, Kyrie Irving, and DeMarcus Cousins, could they have gotten away with being out and about, doing something they had no business doing, trying to buy and pay their way out of it, and then fabricating an entire story that implicates the police force of Rio, and then the IOC said, well, it's just boys being boys? How would America be talking right now? With the racial tension and the racial divide in this country, you guys know as well as I do, 3 black athletes could have never been able to do that and be able to get on a plane and escape and fly home. If they were NBA players, and not even just NBA players, could Simone Biles have got away with this? Could Simone Manuel have gotten away with this? How about Jennifer Abel? Because Jennifer Abel had to pull this off and totally lied about it. being an athlete of color. Ryan Locke's All-American guy. We feel so sorry for Ryan Lochte. Oh, he'd be the best swimmer if there was no Michael Phelps. Oh well, Kobe Bryant would be the best basketball player ever if there was no Michael Jordan. If Dan Marino had a Super Bowl ring, he would probably be considered the greatest pure quarterback of all time. Probably behind Montana and Brady, because they do have 4 rings apiece. But he wouldn't be where he is right now. But we feel sorry for Lochte. Lochte is, you know what they say. Lochte is just, his boys being boys, a good All-American guy. You know, if there were no Michael Phelps, boy, Lochte would have the golds. We'd be celebrating him. But look who he turns out to be. You guys always know I speak about the football gods. I speak about the football gods because I believe in God, and I believe that every now and then, He appoints football guys to certain instances and certain events in sports to make sure the right person wins. The person that has worked the hardest, the person who probably needs it more, the person who wants it more. That's why LeBron won the championship this year. I know the stars are lined up for Cleveland. Draymond gets suspended. No competition in the East. Bogut goes down with the injury. I get all of that. But Golden State played foolishly the last half of the season. A lot of turnovers. And Steve Kerr warned us through the press. I keep telling them it's going to catch up to them. And it caught up to them. Curry's a little banged up. That has a little bit to do it. And the stars just align. LeBron has been through so much. He got the rings in Miami. And there's a lot of people, including myself, that still slightly asterisk and disqualify those championships. But that one in Cleveland does put him up there with the NBA greats because he has been a great NBA player. The sports gods do this. The sports guys do that. They take care of what needs to be taken care of. The Kansas City Royals, that city has been yearning for a World Series championship. They've had George Brett. They've had Bo Jackson. They have a beautiful stadium, a beautiful field, and they have the big waterfall and the big crown up there. It's gorgeous. Kansas City is such a great sports town. They have great barbecue. They have the Chiefs. The Chiefs are historic. They have a Super Bowl win. They were in the AFL. They have Hall of Famers. They have Hall of Famer Hank Stram, who was very integral with Al Davis in moving the AFL with the NFL merging the AFL and NFL together. That city needed it, but they also earned it. They also played well. They also played smart. They also have been down. They've won 60 games and 65 games and 70 games in the season. They needed it. And they needed it more than anybody else did, and they deserved it more than anybody else did, and they wanted it more than anybody else did in the majors last year. That's why they won the World Series. It happens in all of sports. The sports guys will always take care of everything. That's probably why Ryan Lochte has always finished second or worse to Michael Phelps. You don't deserve to be a gold medal winner. It's just like Marion Jones. I was laying down watching her races last night on YouTube. I swear to you, I watched about 5 of them. And each time I got closer and closer to tearing up. Not crying, doing the nose sniffle and wiping snot off my nose and stuff. No. I got very close to tearing up though. Because when I watched her win that gold medal in Sydney, and the way she just pulled away and blew the field away, and I can hear the commentator saying, "You're not supposed to win by this much, but that's how great Marion Jones is." And it was all for naught, man. She was cheating. And it hurt me because every time I would see her win a race, she'd cry. And when she won that gold medal, not every time she won a race, when she won the gold medal, the emotion took over. She cried. She went over to some people in the stands. I'm assuming it was her mother and father, parents or relatives or whatever, and hugged them. But it was all for naught. And what it told me was the sports gods got what they needed back. You cheated, and they made sure that the rightful owner of those medals, it was known. And that more women came along and became better sprinters than you. And broke your world record. And ran better you. The sports gods righted the ship. They put the right people where they need to be at the right time. Alex Rodriguez, you don't get the 700 win. If I was all the GMs in Major League Baseball, I would all come together and say, nobody signed this guy. Why the hell should he be able to be mentioned with Babe Ruth at 700? Even in the sentence of people saying, well, he's got more home runs than Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey didn't take the juice, okay? Ken Griffey did it clean and still put up astronomical numbers and is still the best 5-tool complete player we've seen in the last 30 to 35, 40 years of Major League Baseball. Name me someone better. It's not Trout, it's not Harper, it's not Pujols, it's not Puig. It wasn't Bonds, it wasn't Sosa, it wasn't McGuire, it wasn't A-Rod, it wasn't Jeter. And Jeter's great. Jeter's a legend. I have no beef with Jeter. Can't stand the Yankees. I have 100% no beef with Mariano Rivera and Derek Jeter. I have no beef with those two guys at all. No beef with those two gentlemen at all. I gotta take a quick break. I hate to even tell you guys this, but Woodson, my pit bull that's sitting right here with me, actually just released himself. Not out the rear end, but out the front end. My pit bull just threw up, so I'm gonna need to take a quick break because I cannot have this just laying around in the Sports Talk Batcave. I gotta take you to the vet, homie. We can't be having this. I got to see why this is, man. I have no idea what the heck is going on and why my pit bull is throwing up. I'm sorry to cut in like that and take a break, but I got to take a quick break. I got to clean this up right now, guys. I'm so sorry to even give you guys that picture right now. Sit tight. We'll get into Darren Sharper and why he got a privileged sentence, in my opinion. He got a privileged sentence, in my opinion. I'll tell you why. All that coming up more on VJs on Sportsmanlike Conduct, Spreaker.com.
Squeeze 3 at your cherry M3, bang every MC easily.
Take that.
Recently, niggas frontin' ain't saying nothing, so I just speak my peace, keep my peace. Cubans with the Jesus peace, with my peace. Packing, asking who want it. You got it, nigga flaunt it. That Brooklyn bullshit, we on it.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
I put O's in NY onto DKNY. Miami, DC, prefer Versace.
That's right.
All Philly hoes know it's Moschino. Every cutie with the booty, boy, the coochie. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the shit? Them niggas ride dicks. Frank White push the 6 on the Lexus LX 4.5. Bulletproof glass tips if I want some ass. Gon' blast squeeze first, ask questions last. That's how most of these so-called gangsters pass. At last, a nigga rapping about blunts and broads, tits and bras, menage a trois, sex and expensive cars, and still leave you on the pavement. Condo paid for, no car payment. At my arraignment, note for the plaintiff. Your daughter's tied up in the Brooklyn basement. Face it, not guilty. That's how I stay true. Richer than richer, so you niggas come and get. Come on.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
I can fill you with real millionaire shit. That's cargo, my cargo. 160, swiftly. Wreck it by your new one. Your crew run, your crew run. I know you sick of this lame brand nigga with flows. Girls say he's sweet like licorice. So get with this, nigga, it's easy. Girlfriend, here's a bitch. Call me round 10, come through, have sex on rugs, that's Persian.
That's right.
Come up to your job, hit you while you're working, for certain. Papa freaking, not speaking, leave that ass leaking like rapper demo. Tell them who, take their clothes off slowly. Kill them with the force like Obi, dick black like Kobe, watch me roam like Romy. Lucky they don't owe me, where to say show me, homie.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I just love your flashy ways. Guess that's why they're broken.
Biggie, it's bone and really biggie. It's bone and biggie, biggie. It's bone and biggie, biggie. It's bone
dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, we no angel dust. Label us notorious. Thug ass niggas that love the bus. It's strange to us. Y'all niggas be scrambling, gambling. Up restaurants with mandolins and violins. We just sitting here trying to win, trying not to sin. High off weed and lots of gin. So much smoke need oxygen. Steadily counting them Benjamins. Nigga, you should too if you knew what this game would do to you. Been in this shit since 92. Look at all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. Fucked a few female stars or two. Then I blew like niggas blue like Mike. Shit, not to be fucked with. Motherfuckers better duck quick. Cause me and my dogs love buck shit. Fuck the luck shit, strictly aim. No aspirations to take the game. Spit your game, fuck your shit. Grab your gat, pull your clip. Squeeze your clip, hit the right one. Pass that weed, I got to like one. All them niggas, I got to fight one. All them hoes, I got to like one. Our situation is a tight one. What you gonna do? Fight or run? Seems to me that you take B. Bone and big, nigga die slowly. I'ma tell you like a nigga told me. Cash roll everything around me. Shit, lyrically, niggas can't see me. Fuck it. Buy the coke, cook the coke, cut it. Know the bitch before you call yourself loving it. Nigga with a Benz fucking it. Doesn't it seem odd to you? Big come through with mobs and crews. Good fellas down to the most of dude. Who's the killer? Me or you?
We forgive you, for you know not what you do.
7 a.m. woke in the morning with Henny, caffeine, and green, and nicotine. No dose, so pop a couple of dope that I ripped up. Nigga, Mr. Clean, nigga, clean. Deep in my temple, and I do get sentimentally stained with my
DJs on Sports Like Conduct. We're back right now from a quick little break. Sorry about that, guys. I had to. You never know what you're gonna get on VJs on Sports Like Conduct, but I'm in the Sports Talk Batcave tonight, late doing the show for you guys, and I'm here by myself, and I don't have anybody to watch my pit as I'm sitting here doing the show, and I let him out, going around, and my poor puppy, I don't think he's been feeling well, man. He's been kind of throwing up to like the last, God, I would say about a week now. I think it's time for a vet. I thought it might have been an ice cream treat that he had, but that's not it, man. Something's up with my boy. Anyway, so we're back, and I want to get into Darren Sharp. I want to welcome everybody listening to VJs on Sports Like Conduct live on Spreaker.com. I'm your host, VJ Wright. As always, hashtag 8515. I started off the show by saying that I thought that this was a really bad 24 to 48 hours for athletes or American athletes or Americans in athletic sport. And the next guy I want to go to, we talked about Ryan Lochte. We already know Ryan Lochte, he's a liar. He made this stuff up. He never got robbed by police officers, but it speaks to the privilege of the American athlete, the privilege that we afford these guys, and they think they can get away with anything. You want to talk privilege? Look at the Stanford swimmer. I mean, just openly behind a dumpster. How gruesome can you be as a human being to rape a woman just viciously and violently like that behind a dumpster? Like it's nothing that you met at a party. You're raping this girl. And what did he get? Privileged athlete. Michael Vick fights some dogs, and as wrong as some people think it was, 2 years in federal prison I don't think fits that crime. Plaxico Burress shot him own self in the leg. Shot himself. Carrying a gun as protection, not to go start trouble. Wasn't in an altercation. Was walking up some stairs. First of all, I don't know why the hell you got sweatpants on with a gun. Those aren't denim. That's not denim. Those aren't jeans. It's not going to hold it. So that's your own fault. And why isn't the safety on? Why is it's falling in your pants? Or you going to reach for it and you pull the trigger and the gun goes off and shoots you in the leg. 2 years, federal prison. Guy rapes a girl. What? 6 months, reduced down to 3 months. And then I hear rumors that the judge wants to even make it lower than that because he's not going to, it won't do him any good having to go to jail like that. But I wish they treated some of these other instances the same way. It's all about privilege. A privilege leads me to my next athlete that I think is totally embarrassed himself. It's totally embarrassed American athletes, and that's Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper received 18 years for the raping of 16 women. 16. And I'm going to say the number again for you. I'm going to say it slow. 16 women. That's basically 1.125 years per woman. If that's not privilege, I don't know what the hell is. I know people look at the top line and go, oh yeah, he got 18 years, good. He'll be gone away. Yeah, he'll be out in 18 years. When you rape 16 women, you should not be allowed to be in society ever again. Like, you have a problem. That's not a good thing that you rape these women. Like, are you like, no. Like, this can't be This can't be right. This can't be real that he only got 18 years. He should have got something of like 35, 40 years. Make sure he's in jail the rest of his natural life. He doesn't even get to ever come out. If he does, he's too old and too senile and too blind to even see what a woman is or to be able to get it up to even do something with the woman. I don't care. They need to make a medicine. They need to be able to put a mechanism in your body that doesn't allow you to get an erection ever again. Like, you can't ever get an erection ever again. Have fun in prison, though. Raping women. Have fun in prison, man, where they send him. He ain't going to be Darren Sharper when they come out. Shoot. He going to be Diva. He going to be Diva Sharpless. That's what he going to be when he get out. He going to be Diva. He ain't going to be Darren. And his last name ain't gonna be Sharp. It's gonna be Sharpless. Sharp Yass. Darren, there you go. We're gonna call him Diva Darren Sharp Yass. You know how women say yes. Like if you got a fresh outfit on, yeah, I know that sounds unmanly, but I'm only impersonating the way women do it. I don't do that, and I don't spell it like that. Like YASSSS, no, or YAAAS, no, thank you. I'm cool. I just like, yep. YUP, yep. Or exactly. Those are like my real two responses to like, yeah, like if a brother look fresh with my homies, man, he step out the crib like, yo, you ready to go? Be like, exactly, dog. There you go. You look good, play. Exactly. Or walk out, you give him the head nod and the shake, the approval, like, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Not yes. Yes, boy. Work it. Work it. Work it, Jermaine. Of course not. You guys know me better than that. But Darren Sharper, 18 years, 16 women. This is just another example of privilege. Because he's a pro athlete, you can't tell me this is not a favorable judging. And I don't care if you're black, white, purple, plaid, or if you look like a Coogee sweater in 2003. None of that matters to me. None of that means anything to me at all. You need to be put under the jail. When you do stuff to children or when you do stuff to women, you should not be allowed out in society again. You can't be allowed out in society. That's the way I honestly really feel about when you rape that many women. And look how disgusting it was. Drugging them? Like, raping a woman is bad, period. But to drug a woman, man, is just like, that's horrible. That's all I can say, man. That's what we gotta drug a woman. But I mean, and you guys seen Darren Sharper, man, decent looking dude, man. You're a former NFL player. I know there's some old thoughts out there trying to get their thoughtness back. I know you could have booked somebody, man. Or was he targeting the young girls that don't want to mess with old dudes or retired players? He was on NFL Network. You were making money. You were talking sports. You were having a good life. But to do it like that, that's a mental sickness, man. And see, that's a privilege. He's been afforded so much in his life, being an American athlete, being an NFL player. The simple fact that it came down to, now I can do anything. I can do anything I want. I can do anything I want to do. I can do anything I want to do. I can rape women. I can drug women. I mean, and just think about the entire process of it. You meeting her, you're talking to her the whole time. She may be thinking, yeah, I'm going to give him some. Yeah, I'm going to go do something with him. I mean, he's cute. He's a former player. He got money, whatever. But the fact that he's thinking, whether she wants to or not, I'm drugging her and she is, that's scary. That's the scary privilege part of it. I'm going to take what I want. That's the privilege point of what Darren Sharper did. I'm going to take what I want. And that's bad. In America, we do that to athletes. We've seen instances like this of Ben Roethlisberger. But of course, Big Ben, kind of got off. We don't know what Kobe did in that hotel room. I don't know what Jameis Winston did in that dorm. I don't know what Patrick Kane for the Blackhawks, Chicago Blackhawks, did in his house after that party in that room. All I know is what the women say. In our society, we need to take rape allegations a little more seriously than we do. And I'll tell you why we don't. And it's a very simple, easy answer. Everybody knows this. It's because you do have women or people who will say things that's not true. It's the same thing about child support and baby mama drama. He not doing nothing. I need more money. But you're only doing it because he make good money. You don't need all that money to take care of your kid. You want it because he makes so much money. Like a pro athlete that's got to pay $25,000 in child support. That's insane. And then everybody wants to crush these guys for falling behind. It was $25,000. Now you buying Lambos and Ferraris and Benzes and Beamers and partying and $10,000 and $20,000 bar tabs at the club and all that. That's different. If you're doing all that, all right. then, you know, you get what you get, man. But I don't believe all these guys are doing that. I mean, we just saw instances where Chad Johnson's baby mom and came up and served the papers at his kid's high school graduation, and you can see the kid looking at his mom like, Mom, come on, you gonna do this here? She was doing that trying to embarrass him, trying to show him up. Why? Because you don't have that money in the riches no more? Because he's not the big-time Ocho Cinco that was in the NFL and was catching passes and had all the great celebrations? I bet you it was all good then, but the minute you didn't get that ride no more, you couldn't have that free ride anymore. So sometimes athletes allow other people around them to feel privilege. And obviously one of these girls, and I say that because one of these girls in her report and her testimony said that she woke up and him and his brother were standing over her, exposing, with themselves exposed. I think that's court talk for butt, booty, ball, naked. I think that's what that's court term for. Exposed. Yeah, he was naked. Or he had his pants down. Or, you know, or something was hanging out. So I think that there's always a level of privilege that comes along with these players, and then the people that hang with them, they feel like they can do stuff too. But just two American athletes, man, in the past 24, 48 hours. I mean, Darren Sharper's thing has been going on for months, but he got his sentence, and it just happens to happen on a day when Ryan Lochte is caught in a stupid lie. Why would you say you got robbed at gunpoint by the police? So what? You want sympathy? But see, that's what we've done. Because we've created this narrative that, oh, gee, poor Ryan Lochte. He can't be Michael Phelps. That's privilege you guys are handing over time and time again. I say, damn, if you can't be somebody, that's your problem. That's your problem. That ain't nobody else's problem but yours. If he keeps mopping you up in the pool every single time you guys race against each other. Huge privilege, man. And then when I even think it Darren Sharper, it's more or less just like, why, man? Like, why? Like, you have a sickness. You need to be medicated. You should never, ever be allowed in the public eye and public again. One more athlete I want to go over to, man, before we wrap up today's show. I told you I wasn't going to do anything long tonight, guys. I just wanted to give you something on Thursday just to make sure I stay consistent, keep my word, and have some things I had to do earlier today and wanted to set up for tonight's show. If you guys have seen the press conference, now listen, before I even say this, let me tell you something about athletes that I don't like that most people already know. I don't like athletes who show their privilege and try to use it. I don't like athletes that are unclassy, unprofessional. I'm not a fan of athletes who, do it for the cameras, do it for the money, do it for the hype. I gotta hype it up. I just don't believe in that. I understand Muhammad Ali was the godfather and the creator of trash talk, but you were gonna watch Ali fights anyway. Ali hyped the fight because that's just what he did. We do stuff now just to get people to watch it, just to watch us. It's more of a narcissist activity that we do within ourselves. We got to get more. Everybody's got to get more followers and more likes and more this and more that. Got to be about me. We're a me society. I feel like I'm warming up for a damn opera. Me. You know how they do it? They do it like that. Me. Oh, damn. I tried to take it a note up for y'all, but that wasn't, obviously that was not a smart idea. But it's all about themselves, man. And anytime you can get away with being openly rude, openly unprofessional, openly classy, it's privilege. And that brings me to Conor McGregor. Now, I'm not a big UFC guy. I'm a boxing purist. I love boxing. I wish boxing would come back to the way that it was. Probably never going to happen. I get it. I will not turn over to UFC. I'll watch a little bit of it. I get into some of the characters and some of the matches, but I'm not a guy that's going to watch it all the time. I'm definitely never going to pay for one and buy one. Never have paid for one and bought one. I've rarely gone to a party, and when I go to a sports bar and it's on, it's more or less like, oh, UFC's on tonight. I wonder who these guys are. That's what I'm saying. Not, I got to get here to get early, man, so I can see the prelims. No, I'm good. I'm not going to watch it anyway, especially if it's between September and January. There's too much college football on Saturday nights, especially the late-night primetime game nowadays. There's no point in trying to watch that stuff. But Conor McGregor is one guy who can just openly get away with being rude and being unclassy and so vulgar. It's like, why do you have to be so vulgar at every? I mean, does it make you feel tougher or make you sound tougher? Then there's some networks out here kiss up to it, think it's so cool what happened in the press conference yesterday, where he shows up purposely late. He admitted, I don't like the way that he started this time. The other fighters there, his whole people are waiting. Whether you're playing mind games, whatever you guys want to call it, sportsmanship, he's playing mind games. It's still unclassy. It's still unprofessional. You have to think about the other writers that are there, the journalists that are there, the cameramen that are there, the reporters that are there, the lighting guys that are there, the people that have to break down that stage and get that room ready for something else. They're on a schedule. There's other things that need to happen. There's other things that are going to happen. That room isn't just for you. It's for you right now. But afterwards, we need y'all to get going so we can set up for everything else. You're holding everybody up on purpose. So Diaz and his crew gets fed up. They tell Dana White, we're out of here, man. We're not dealing. This is your dude. This is your marquee guy. You deal with him, man. This is ridiculous. And he got his ass whooped by Diaz the first time they fought. He lost. So to act like this when you're going into a rematch, I think there would be a little more professionalism and classiness to it. But once again, that's the privilege he has been afforded because that's the privilege he has been given by UFC. I mean, he's the guy who's now taking pictures of stacks of money like Mayweather would do, or doing a selfie in his Ferrari or his car, Porsche, whatever, in Beverly Hills down Sunset, I believe it was. He was drag racing somebody at like 3:30 in the morning. You know, lucky for him, he didn't kill himself or kill somebody else or get pulled over by the cops. But he's like that front face running guy right now. He's that front runner. He's the face of UFC. But why so rude? Why so mean? Why so vulgar? Why so unprofessional? I mean, he interrupts you during your press conference. You can't get a word in. You can't. It's like, why am I gonna show up for this dude? Listen, we signed the fight. We're gonna fight. Now he's doing all of this, and it makes a guy like me and a guy like other people turn and say, you know what? I hope he gets his tail whipped again. For real, I hope he gets punished again. I hope he gets laid out again, just like he did the last time. But once again, there's that word privilege. He's been privileged and conditioned to think that it's okay to be this way and it's okay to do this. And, you know, and I guess it's supposed to be a show. And like I said, you got networks out here who say, oh, it was so cool. It was just such a cool moment. A cool moment? Are you kidding me? A cool moment was Jordan hitting the shot in Utah. A cool moment was Kobe doing his post-game on-court interview, dropping the mic saying, Mamba, I'll have to give it a 60 points when he walked off. A cool moment was watching LeBron James cry genuine tears of joy from all the pain, all the blood, all the sweat, all the tears, all the hard work, all the passion, all the criticism, even from guys like me. Crying, letting it all out, laying on the floor, pounding the court. That was a cool moment. Tyronn Lue on the bench, shaking his head, rubbing his forehead like, I can't believe what just happened. Like, we just won the championship, man. I just won a championship as a coach. After winning some with the Lakers, Tyronn Lue was known for one thing only, and that was Allen Iverson stepping over him. That's all anybody would ever think of him if you go Tyronn Lue. Before he was with Cleveland, Tyronn Lue. He the guy with the Lakers who got stepped over by Iverson? Exactly. Even though Lue was playing really good defense, guys. I don't know what you guys... I know a lot of Iverson fans want to say different, but I thought he was playing really good defense, and I think that's what Iverson was more upset about is the fact that he was playing really good defense on him. But when you talk about cool moments, yesterday wasn't it. Nate Diaz crowd comes walking through the arena. He starts cussing him out. Conor McGregor starts cussing him out. You're effing this and you're effing that. None of you are going to effing do nothing and effing this and effing that. And just all this. Then they start throwing water bottles at each other. And everybody can say, oh, that's just hype for the fight. No, I just think that a lot of these guys have just been beaten in the head and been choked out one too many times and knocked out one too many times. And their brain just isn't functioning correctly. But they're allowed to do it because of the privilege that's being given to them to do it. Do you think that Cam Newton can walk in a joint press? If he could Cam Newton had got up from his podium at the Super Bowl and went around to where he could hear the Broncos players talking and start yelling and cussing at them and throwing water bottles and throwing stuff at them, and somebody go, man, that was such a cool moment. Come on. There's no way. No way in the world that would. There's no way in the world that would ever happen. No way in the world that would ever happen. But it's okay to happen when you're talking about Conor McGregor. And like as I said, guys that given this privilege, American athletes, we give them this leverage and we give them this privilege, and I believe it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It is going to cause Lochte. Now think about this. Now what if Lochte goes back over there and ends up being really robbed or really killed or attacked or assaulted while he's over there for telling the lie, for trying to abuse and express his privilege that he gets to enjoy, and the sorrow that the fans, and half the fans, it's your fault too. It's your fault too, because you guys are the ones that are saying, oh, Ryan Lochte, poor guy, can't get it done, because Michael Phelps is in the way. I'm the guy that goes, well, be Michael Phelps or just live with being second. Usain Bolt's the best sprinter I've ever seen, right? We agree with that. Justin Gatlin's the second best sprinter I've ever seen. Justin Gatlin would be the world champion and Olympic champion the last two Olympics and the world championships of last year, if not for Usain Bolt. But guess what? It is what it is. As my dad would say, the retired sergeant from the United States military, 11 Bravo. That's infantryman. That's expert infantryman, if y'all don't know that. If you ever see a guy in the Army and he's got one of those rifle patches on his left, his right breast, his left, your right, on his right breast patch. You ever see that rifle? That's expert infantry. That's 11 Bravo, United States Army. That's badass. That's what that is. That's badass. We fly you, we move you overseas, we send you overseas. You're an infantryman. We might got to use you to go bang, bang, shoot them up something. Go defend the country. Go defend the world. We might got to use you, homeboy. So this is what you do. That's what my pops was. And as my pops would say, it is what it is, son. It is what, that's his favorite line for everything. It is what it is. And Justin Gatlin's my guy. He's my favorite track sprinter of all time. I really like Usain Bolt, but Usain's not American, so when it comes to track, I'm gonna show a little pride, and I'm gonna pick an American. I'm gonna pick an American to ride with, and he's my guy. But if you can't beat first place, you just can't beat first place, and you're just seconds. Don't need to making excuses for people, man. So Conor McGregor, Ryan Lochte, Darren Sharper, just my little short show tonight on privileged athletes, man. We need to stop it, and it's just totally ridiculous. Ryan Lochte, I hope he gets everything coming to him. I hope Darren Sharper gets everything coming to him. He gets what he deserves. And Conor McGregor Saturday night, when he gets in the octagon with Nate Diaz, he gets what he deserves. You want to act like this, you want to do these things, you want to be privileged. The sports guys always make sure everything is put into the right order. Always. Darren Sharper made all that money. Darren Sharper was all pro baller, won a Super Bowl, and you know what the sports guy said? Nah, homie, we gonna catch you. There's no telling how long he's been doing this. Think about that. There's no telling how long he's been doing this. So they righted it. They righted the wrong, man. And they put him now in the football field of jail and soap on the road. Don't drop the soap. So I gotta say, Ryan Lochte, I hope if they make you go back, homeboy, I ain't gonna lie. I hope you make it back to America, but you get what you deserve. Conor McGregor, you get what you deserve, man. Now I hear about this WWE possibility coming to light. Like they need that. This fight with Mayweather. Like Mayweather needs that, man. Let this guy just be. I hope Diaz knocks him out this weekend, man. VJs on Sports Like Conor, Spreaker.com, man. No big send-off tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Being in the chat room, Denise right now, my man Luis Estrada in the building. I appreciate you guys, man. Everybody that's up in the building. Keep following me. I'm off tomorrow, Saturday. Probably might do some Sunday. Who knows? I'll be over on Fox Sports Radio with Mike Hill on the Mike Hill Show over there. And shooting some more reels and videos. So I'll see you guys Monday morning. Same bad time, same bad channel. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Enjoy college. Not college. Enjoy some preseason and fantasy. Next week, we'll get into more and more fantasy drafts. I'll start to announce a bunch more of my teams that I've done. And then also, we'll go over top 25 NCAA football rankings. And then we will also do a full NFL preview starting next week. Each day, we'll go down each division. Pick the teams, talk about the teams. I will give you a record for each team and whether that team is going to make the playoffs and how far in the playoffs that they will go. VJ Wright, Spreaker.com, guys, on Sports Like Conor. God bless. You guys have a safe weekend.
Regardless of rain or snow, sleet or hail, I kick street sales, choking niggas like I'm Spreewell. Golden State, holding your fate in the palm of my hand. Blow you away like it's part of the plan. I gotta call it like I see it, talking like I be it. Walking my walk, thugged out, orthopedic, cause I'm soon to be up. Give me room, watch me heat up. Niggas try to stick me like Abdul Uwima. Follow the leader, make me go extra hard. Yo, Nori, should I hold back or show the repertoire? Quit at 16 or throwing extra balls just for the non-believers. I show 'em why it's so hard to reach us. I get pussy with my father's features. Puff heavily, see me at 6'1", weigh $170. Catch me in spots y'all niggas never be. Packed in like Green Bay, Harlem Week to Queens Day. Performing acapella, no DJ. 98 live, no replay. Make it seem easy. So tell a friend and tell a friend that it's them again. Nature, Noriega, wild remedy.
Champagne on the rocks, pouring the Fort Knox Lazarus. Shark salad with carrots, pork chops and applesauce. Twin connection, disrespect and watch your body cave and pump the shotty gauge and hit the shorty while he potty training. I ain't playing, I'm truly the worst. Who'll be the first to get his whole body fully reversed? Who's your hurts, leave you double dead. I'm a bubblehead, I never listen to nothing my mother said. And yo, I hold niggas ransom for money like Johnny Handsome. The son of niggas so long, I think I got a grandson. My passion is money, a stash and a honey that won't ask no questions, but don't blast anybody. That's my kind of girl, kind of world I wanna live in. Not a cell or a prison or in hell. So Armageddon, just a little ghetto where my niggas control the middle and know the riddles of life, while others know only a little.
In rich places, sick places. See my story, 6,666 pages. Wages, I wrote 6 aces. And at the same dice game, I caught 6 cases. All over big faces. Now it's tip laces, ready to dig faces. But the banging ain't a bit spacious. Niggas building up they rib cages. Cats like the rip places, bloody lip faces. The Kim is a big racist, but I stay in for the big places. But the world know the girl though. I